Here's my guide for the stoichiometry with beads paper. Here are my 10 blue beads and my 10 red beads. I know they're beans, but that's what I had. So besides, yours aren't even probably going to be red and blue, so you have whatever. But this is using my example here. So I got the 10 red and blue, and I made a formula. Now you can make yours different, but I made 2 red and 3 blue makes 1 set. So I'm going to find the mass of the 10 of each and find the mass per bead. I'm going to take the scale, turn it on. Make sure it says G and not GR because that means grains, and that's for gunpowder. GR does not mean grams. You might have to use the mode button to get that to change. I'm going to put on the tray, hit T for tare, and that takes the mass of the tray out. Put in my 10 beads. I understand that that's a different number. I was totally guessing on the paper, 5.4. Your number may be entirely different, of course, because you have a different kind of object. So I would take 5.4 grams per 10 beads, and I would get 0.54 grams per 1 bead. I'm going to do it again for blue. Pretend I did it. You would get a different mass. Take that mass over the 10 beads and get a different grams per bead. Now, you get to make this up, but I chose to start with 6 red beads. You could choose something else. Remember that because it's beads, we can't have half beads. So you're going to have to get something that will not involve using a half bead because we can't do that. So I multiplied by 3, haven't I? If I have a formula that says 2 red beads and I'm going to use 6, I've multiplied the whole formula by 3. That's useful to keep in mind. So how much would my product be if I use 6 red? How many grams of red would I be using? Well, I would use 6 reds and take the mass here per bead and put it here, multiply and divide, and we get the grams of red I would use. How many blue will I use? Well, I will use 3 for every 2, right? So I'm going to take the 6 red, multiply by 3 blue per 2 red. The reds cancel out, and I get 9 blue used. What mass will that be? I will be using 9 blue, and I'll take the mass from here, and put it here, and multiply through, and I will get my grams of blue that I will use. So this number plus this number is the grams for the total sets. How many sets would it be? Actually, we calculated that here. So the total mass would be my red mass plus my blue mass, and that's the total mass for the number of sets that I will make. How many masses, how many sets will that be? I'm going to use 6 red, and it is 1 set per 2 red, 1 set per 2 red. The reds cancel out, and I get 3 sets is what I will make. So what we're going to do is actually put this together and take the real mass. So here's my 2 with 3, 2 with 3, 2 with 3. That is using 6 reds and 9 blues. And it makes 3 sets, like I said. And I have a calculated mass. What is the real mass? My real mass is here, and I can compare it to my calculated mass and see if it's close. And I assume that they would be pretty close and that the calculations do a good job of reflecting reality. If that's not the case, if you got something really different, you should let me troubleshoot this. Maybe your calculations went wrong, or maybe something is going wrong with your weighing operation. Note that there is something on the back. Make a second version. I think most of you should be able to get to doing 2 versions in 1 class period. It shouldn't take 20 minutes to do 1 or more. Ask for help. Ask questions.